Defending liberty 1 hour at a time and broadcasting from the RWB Network studios in New York. This is the Ryno Report. Always right.
Let's get ready to rumble!
We will not tire, we will not falter, and we will not fail.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
She got chunked. You are very rude.
We are going to make America great again.
And now, here's your host, the Ryno.
There's a new sheriff in town.
Hello, hello, hello. I am the Ryno, and this is my report today, Wednesday, July 27th, 2016, and we're coming to you from the RWB Network studios in New York and live on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I wanted to talk about something early on here that we didn't get to yesterday. Do you guys remember how hot it was last summer? Well, if you do, then you surely remember the Ice Bucket Challenge for ALS. I mean, I remember it. All the athletes were doing it, the actors and actresses, and I did it a few times myself. I got doused with lots of ice water last year. Well, they raised over $115 million in 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Now, $1 million of that was given to something called Project Mini. What they did was they were able to sequence some of the genomes and lots of science going on here, but they may have found some similarities in pairings that now they can use to either treat, cure, or even diagnose early on possible ALS. Really a remarkable thing. It's not often you hear about our money going to good causes where they actually find something. They've been trying to cure cancer for years. Well, here, maybe it's the first little step in trying to find a cure for ALS. Very good, very good. And I can't wait for the next Ice Bucket Challenge. I'm in 100%. All right, let's get to today's headlines. Last night's DNC headliner, President Bill Clinton, tells us about a girl he met. Although, I don't think he was talking about Hillary. And the DNC has officially joined hands with the Black Lives Matter movement. But how does the rest of the country feel about that? Also, the state of Maryland officially drops all charges against the cops implicated in the death of drug dealer Freddie Gray. However, was this just a political move to help Marilyn Mosby's husband? We have all that, plus after over 30 years of incarceration, would-be assassin John Hinckley Jr. is set to be released from the Puzzle Factory. We also have a new LA Times tracking poll we have to talk about. And what can we expect from tonight's DNC speakers? All that, plus your daily dose of common sense you can only find here on the Ryno Report, Monday to Friday. But first, let's kick the show off the same way we always do, with a salute to our country with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now remember, as always, you gotta check out RynoReport.com, RynoReport.com. We have a brand spanking new article up there called Trust by Robert. It's a good one. You gotta read it. Really, really good. You'll like it. You'll thank me later. And if you want to write for the show, as always, send me your article to Ryno, R-Y-N-O, at rwbnetwork.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Ryno on Air. Pretty simple. Lots of rhinos. And catch old episodes of the show on iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, everywhere. And right now, we are also live on Red Nation Rising Radio. A big shout out to you guys there on the Liberty Channel. And a big shout out to you at 11 o'clock at night on K98Talk.com. Lots of places to hear the show. Make sure you check out all of them. This week we've had some doozies. And I have a feeling that today might be a doozy as well. You don't want to miss it. Hang in there. You're listening to the Ryno Report on CRN.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit innatlagunabeach.com.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. A quick break now. We're off and running with today's show, today's Wednesday show. You know, the DNC, the convention, is so much fun to watch. I thought it was going to be terrible. I thought, it's going to be boring, a lot of ideologues spitting out a bunch of stuff that no one agrees with except for like 3% of the population. But what's made it interesting, not just the whole Bernie thing where, you know, he thought too many superdelegates and he wanted to get them all together beforehand to try and sway their vote. Yeah, that's kind of old news. What made it more interesting was this WikiLeaks thing, right? 20,000 released emails from the DNC, and it resulted in Debbie Wasserman Schultz resigning. Of course, then getting hired by the Clinton campaign. Well, we got to keep her quiet. Can't let her talk. Got to give her a job. But now Julian Assange is saying there's more WikiLeaks stuff to come. And he hasn't said when it will be released. Now, mainstream media wants it now. They want it now for two reasons. Number one, after Thursday, convention over, they got to start talking about real issues again. But number two, if there's something in the new set of emails that will be released that could derail this Hillary campaign permanently, force her to step down, they want to get somebody in there quick. They want to get Joe Biden, give him a little pat on the back and say, here you go, slugger, you're up. That's what they want. I'm kind of hoping he waits till like October, middle of October, end of October, and that's when all this stuff gets released. Now, Julian Assange is not stupid. He may have made some bad decisions in his life, but he's not stupid when it comes to this stuff. Now, mainstream media has, for the most part, avoided reporting that there's more. CNN did do a little piece on it. You saw some smaller news sources yesterday start to catch on. He was on CNN, actually, for an interview, and he promises there more. Now, some of this stuff may indicate that Hillary told her aides to delete the classified markings on emails and then send them over the private server. Some of it may indicate that. Now, what does the FBI say about it? Who knows? They're going to say we spoke to them. They said they didn't do that. Then they may say, well, the emails are coming from a third source. We don't know if they've been tampered with. There'll be all sorts of excuses, all sorts. But it's just going to lend to her credibility, or lack thereof, for that matter. There may be some info about the Clinton Foundation. I know we all want to hear about that. Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn, she wants to hear about it too. Her with 64 other of her colleagues that have petitioned the FBI and the Federal Trade Commission and everybody, the IRS, to look into the Clinton Foundation. But the FBI, the administration, will say, well, it was a third-party actor and they tampered with it. I know what they're going to say. It's time we get out in front of some of this stuff. Don't let them get out in front of it. When they get out in front of it, they get to control the news cycle. We have to get out in front of it. We have to lay out their excuses for them so that the public can say, oh, see, that's what they said they would say. We have to start being more proactive when it comes to this stuff. Republicans and the GOP are a little bit behind the times when it comes to this. A little bit. Donald Trump is changing things. I mean, the RNC didn't know what Twitter was until Donald Trump came along. They had no idea. Now, they love it. Right now, I mean, they kind of love it. But we'll see what happens here with WikiLeaks and Assange and Hillary and the Clinton Foundation and all this stuff. All this stuff, it's going to be a jam-packed time between now and November. There is no doubt about that. No doubt about that whatsoever. Now, getting back to Baltimore here for a second. This is big. This is big. The charges, all the charges have been dropped against the officers in the death of Freddie Gray. Drug dealer Freddie Gray. The Baltimore State's Attorney, Marilyn Mosby, she announced it this morning. She didn't sound real convinced, if you ask me. Well, she had an axe to grind here from the beginning. She said in her statement, "We do not believe that Freddie Gray killed himself." She says that before dropping all the charges. Well, Judge Barry Williams didn't believe the cops killed him. He didn't believe that for a second. These trials were short, they were quick, and they were decisive. That was it. The prosecution couldn't prove anything. Forget reasonable doubt. None of that. None of that. And then Mosby says this system is in need of reform. What does that mean? What does that mean? Is she trying to gin up the anger of this community again? Is that what she's trying to do? I don't really understand. You have Officer Caesar Goodson was acquitted by bench verdict. Lieutenant Brian Rice acquitted by bench verdict. Officer Edward Nero acquitted by bench verdict. Officer William Porter, hung jury, was going to be retried and going to have a bench trial and probably be acquitted. You had Officer Garrett Miller and Sergeant Alicia White were awaiting trial as well, and they will probably also go with a bench trial. You know, this is what happens. You try these things in court. You present evidence, you present arguments, and the judge wasn't buying it. And the judge has not been a friend to the defense this whole time. They wanted to move the trial, he said no. They wanted a jury sequestered, he said no. So, their evidence wasn't there. It just wasn't there. And how much money were they going to waste? Millions of dollars already wasted on this trial that never ever should have taken place. Trials, to be more exact. And they already paid the Gray family over $6 million before the first opening argument. So they tried to convict these officers in the court of public opinion. They tried to do everything in their power. Right? No justice, no peace. The whole thing. You remember that? There was like a 15-minute investigation before Mosby marched on up there and said she was going to try all these officers. Yeah. They wasted a lot of money. And I said it from the first hung jury. I said it back, was it December? I said on this show, just stop. Stop wasting the money. Wasting tons and tons of money on this. She was obviously told to do this. She didn't want to do this. She didn't want to drop the charges. No way. She's too proud for that. But she may think that this makes her look stupid, but I got news for you. This doesn't. Rushing to charge the officers is what made her look stupid. That's what made her look dumb. Not to mention, her husband, Nick, is the city councilman for the district that Freddie Gray was in at the time. Oh, and by the way, he's running for mayor of Baltimore. Just by the by. This could have been a political move by Marilyn Mosby because she didn't need another acquittal just days before an election. So is this really no justice, no peace? Or was this looking out for her own hide? Is that what's going on here? Either way, these officers never should have been charged. This is the end result, and a lot of people are okay with it. These trials were kind of a sham, and a waste of money. And I want to keep talking about these, and I want to keep talking about how this parlays into the BLM movement and the DNC when we come back here on the Ryno Report on CRN Digital Talk Radio. So you've missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty HealthShare has the answer. Liberty HealthShare offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. For those of you who have already enrolled but just aren't satisfied with what you've chosen, there's still hope. Liberty HealthShare allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their health care, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. Members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on individuals for not having health care insurance, thus giving you freedom from insurance. Liberty HealthShare empowers their members by giving them the ability to choose any doctor or hospital across the nation. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American like myself, looking for contract-free health care, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll at any time of the year, call 855-585-4237 or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Do it today.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for authentic family-style Italian dinners. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate your party or event in one of our festive banquet rooms. Angelo's and Vinci's, Fullerton, California, 550 North Harbor Boulevard. Named the Orange County Hot List Top 5 Italian restaurant for 7 years in a row. And a Top 10 pizza restaurant by Gale, featuring traditional and award-winning pizzas. Offering Sunday champagne brunch from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., just $16.95. Choose from over 20 items, plus create your own personal omelet. Delicious lunches, including our express lunch buffet, $8.95 with over 15 items. And dinner 7 days a week. Getting married? Angelo's and Vinci's won this year's Wedding Wire Couples Choice Award. You can talk to our experienced staff of wedding coordinators. We treat you as guests at your own wedding reception. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. 714-879-4022.
The legends of Ka'anapali Luau at the Ka'anapali Beach Hotel will take your breath away with an abundant feast, spellbinding dances, and music from Lei Pono Productions. Be greeted with a lei and browse to see island crafts made by local artisans. As you hear the pu or conch shell blow, your luau experience will begin. The featured entree is a whole roasted pig and a bountiful menu of some of Hawaii's favorite food choices. Oh, you can't forget our famous made in-house taro poi. As your night comes to an end under the spell of the moon, be amazed by the famous fire walk. By the end of the night, you'll be full, and we hope you'll have made new friends and some forever memories while you continue to listen to music from Maui's local Hawaiian musicians every Monday night at Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel. Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, voted Best Aloha Spirit by Hawaii Magazine readers. Call 667-0128 or visit legendsofka'anapali.com for your exciting island adventure.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Remember to check out all the old episodes. We have every single episode. All 131 episodes of the show are online. You can find them on iTunes or TuneIn or Spreaker, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, whatever your little heart desires, you can find them there. Because a lot of times I make references to things that I spoke about months ago. I just realized that in the last segment. I start referencing things that I talked about before, so it would behoove you to get caught up. All right, we're talking about how State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby dropped all the charges against the cops implicated in the death of drug dealer Freddie Gray, and how this could have been a political move. Her husband is running for mayor of Baltimore because their current mayor, Stephanie Rawlings Blake, well, she has abandoned her re-election bid because essentially she can't keep control of the city. She's not doing a good job. Doing a terrible job, actually. And this doesn't help her, and I don't think this helps Mosby. I mean, it may help because they don't want another acquittal right before the election. That would be bad politics for them. Remember, it's all about optics. All about optics. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They care about themselves. Typical Democrat philosophy. Now, just as a side note, did you guys see Mayor Rawlings Blake at the DNC? I think it was Monday. She always looks miserable. Miserable with the sourpuss, everything. She never looks happy. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be happy either if I was kind of told that I couldn't run for re-election because I destroyed my city. But this happens in every city that a Democrat controls. New York City, Washington, D.C., Detroit, Chicago, Baltimore. The list goes on and on. On and on and on. Now, Baltimore is just another example of the baseless allegations that have fueled this Black Lives Matter movement. Just another example. Of course, it all goes back to Michael Brown, right? Michael Brown, Ferguson, Missouri. Hands up, don't shoot. Well, we know that never happened. The DOJ even said that never happened. Now, if the DOJ had even a little bit of evidence that that might have happened, they would have changed their whole report around. And if they didn't have the eyewitnesses they had, they would have lied. The DOJ is good at lying. They're very good at that. Or making stuff up. Now, Officer Darren Wilson was a civil servant doing his job, and he was put in possibly the hardest position possible. He came across a possible suspect, fitting the description of a man who just committed a strong-arm robbery. He tried to make contact with that suspect. The suspect not only physically attacked him, as reported by black eyewitnesses, but also reached for his gun. Officer Darren Wilson then had to make a decision that most of us would not be able to make. It was the hardest decision of his life. Make no mistake about that. But let's hypothesize for a minute. Just for a minute. Let's reverse the course of events. Let's pretend that Michael Brown won the struggle. Got a hold of Officer Wilson's gun. Okay? He shoots him and kills Officer Wilson. After a manhunt, the authorities would be able to track him down and arrest him. I'm convinced of that. I think they're good at their jobs, and they could do that. He stands trial for murder of a police officer. He's convicted by a jury of his peers and sentenced to either life without parole or death. Death penalty is still legal in the state of Missouri. It was upheld by the Supreme Court in 1976. What happens then? What happens then? Mainstream media covers it for about 3 minutes. About 3 minutes. And they wind up naming an overpass after Officer Darren Wilson. Michael Brown either dies in prison or dies at the hands of lethal injection. Regardless, the outcome for Michael Brown is the same. And it all started because he robbed a store and a police officer was doing their sworn duty. It's a slippery slope that started by bad impulse control. That's where it started. I always say on this show that you have to look 5 moves in advance, right? You have to play that chess game in your head. What's going to happen in the future? But in this case, you have to look back. Remember, hindsight is 20/20. And people in this BLM movement are not looking back to see where this all started. They're not looking back. Nothing happens without a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Nothing just happens. Anything that happens to you today, well, there were events leading up to that. I'm not trying to get philosophical about it. That's just the truth. Nothing just happens. Planes just didn't fly into the World Trade Center. There was years of planning that caused that. Years of missed evidence, missed everything that caused that led that to happen. Nothing happens without a reason. We'll be back to talk more about this when we get back here on the Ryno Report.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right. For you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right. In Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day. And little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644.
So you've missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty HealthShare has the answer. Liberty HealthShare offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. For those of you who have already enrolled but just aren't satisfied with what you've chosen, there's still hope. Liberty HealthShare allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their health care, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. Members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on individuals for not having health care insurance, thus giving you freedom from insurance. Liberty HealthShare empowers their members by giving them the ability to choose any doctor or hospital across the nation. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American like myself, looking for contract-free health care, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll at any time of the year, call 855-585-4237 or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Do it today. All right, welcome back to the show. We're about 26 minutes to the top of the hour here on the Ryno Report. We're talking about Freddie Gray, and we're talking about Michael Brown, and how these things kind of are strung together in the formation of Black Lives Matter and this whole movement that we've been seeing a lot of on TV, not only the last couple of days, but essentially the last 18 or 20 months, whatever it's been to this point. Now, the accomplice with Michael Brown told a story that is now debunked, that Michael Brown had his hands up, he was walking away, and the cop shot him in the back. That is all that mainstream media needed to hear. Kind of like the person who was in the transport vehicle with Freddie Gray. At first, he came out and said, no, it wasn't a rough ride. I don't know, I heard some banging in the cell next to me, in the partition next to me, where Freddie Gray was at the time. But mainstream media didn't really show you that. When he went back to his neighborhood, and I'm sure he caught a lot of flack for saying that, he comes back on TV and says, oh yeah, they were bouncing us around, he was asking for help, the police didn't help, change the story. Now that mainstream media wanted to hear. It plays into the narrative, much like the hands up, don't shoot played into the narrative of mainstream media. So, once again, mainstream media abandons their journalistic integrity for more of an Aesop's Fables approach. They try to figure out what will get ratings. What's the sexy story here? What will protect the Obama administration? Now, before all this happened, everyone knew there was sort of this kind of war on cops going on. Long before Michael Brown, long before that. So what will protect the Obama administration from having to hear those cries? And what will lead to long-lasting storylines? They like long-lasting storylines, especially in the summer. In the summer, it gets kind of dead. Now, last summer, it was all about the primaries. I mean, we were, 10 months removed from Iowa? And everything that dominated mainstream media, and even alternative media, cable media, whatever it was what Donald Trump said, what Donald Trump had for breakfast, what Carly Fiorina did, what Ted Cruz said. That's all we had. That's all we had for months and months and months. They like long-lasting storylines, especially in the summer. However, this time it backfired in their faces. Their adoring coverage of BLM has led to the rise of people distrusting media, distrusting their false narratives, a widespread dislike for BLM. Poll after poll shows that the American public are not in favor of what they're doing. They feel they're divisive. And of course, the rise of the popularity of someone like Donald Trump. By continuing to support Black Lives Matter via their continued coverage, along with their lack of truthful reporting of Hillary Clinton, mainstream media is now feverishly trying to rearrange the furniture on the deck of the Titanic. That's what they're doing. And the viewer's not buying it anymore. They're just not buying it anymore. Fox News had the highest ratings of the RNC. They'll have the highest ratings of the DNC. I'm not saying Fox News is always right. They make some mistakes. They have some bad guests. Some of the hosts are subpar. But people tend to think that they're giving you the best shake. As of now. Maybe One America at some point, or Newsmax at some point when they get bigger. Maybe people will flock there. I don't know. I can't prognosticate what people will watch in the future. I can't even tell you if they're listening to the show or not. So I can't prognosticate what they're going to do with mainstream media. Now, the DNC has been attached at the hip to mainstream media. It's kind of this symbiotic relationship, right? We help you, you give us access. It's kind of what it's been for a long time. Those of us who pay close enough attention, we've known this for a long time. We've known it since the age of reason. But the rest of the population is just starting to wake up to this. Just starting, and it's coming at a really bad time for Hillary Clinton. Really bad. Now, you could say Donald Trump was the one that sort of planted this seed. I don't know. I don't think that the American voter, or anyone in this country for the most part, is inherently stupid. I don't believe that. I believe we're all pretty rational people once in a while. We make rational decisions. All you have to do is watch the coverage. Now, 80% of the people out there say they're watching the coverage of the conventions. I don't believe that's a real number, but that's what the polls are saying. And if you watch the RNC, if you watch that convention, what was mainstream media saying? They were saying they were fear-mongering. There was hate. It was dark. Right? Dark. Trump's speech was dark. But their coverage of the DNC, it's upbeat. There's glass ceilings being shattered, which is a total hoax because there are like 17 female world leaders right now. There have been like 40-something all told. There's no glass ceiling. England's had 2 of them. Germany has one. There's no glass ceiling. They say the DNC is showing progress. Well, progressivism and socialism are kind of the same, and they're about 175 years old, and they've never worked. They've never, ever worked. There's not one good example of socialism working. You want to tell me about Sweden? Malmo's the rape capital of the world. You want to talk about Venezuela? Yeah, you don't want to talk about Venezuela. Their people are jumping the borders just to get food. And last night, the DNC all but formally revealed its connection to Black Lives Matter. Yeah. They bring on stage the mothers of the movement, whatever they call them. Trayvon Martin's mother, Michael Brown's mother, Eric Garner's mother. They are making this attachment to a group that the population, for the most part, does not agree with, and mainstream media, who the population is learning day by day to not trust. Awfully strange bedfellows. But they're grasping at straws now. Did you see the BLM chants erupting at the DNC? You know what chants were erupting at the RNC? USA. Have you heard a USA chant yet at the DNC? Have you seen any American flags being waved around? They put like one up on the corner of the stage after Donald Trump said something? No, none of that. None of that. Doesn't seem like the party of the people to me. It seems like the party of the 15%. Right? It's kind of what it's becoming. People are losing their trust in the Democrat Party, losing their trust in media. We'll be back. So you've missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty HealthShare has the answer. Liberty HealthShare offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. For those of you who have already enrolled but just aren't satisfied with what you've chosen, there's still hope. Liberty HealthShare allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their health care, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. Members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on individuals for not having health care insurance, thus giving you freedom from insurance. Liberty HealthShare empowers their members by giving them the ability to choose any doctor or hospital across the nation. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American like myself, looking for contract-free health care, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll at any time of the year, call 855-585-4237 or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Do it today.
Attention, this important consumer alert is brought to you by CBC Funding. Hey, did you know it's possible to receive upfront money from your structured settlement, annuity, or pending lawsuit? It's true. If you are receiving a structured settlement spread out over time and you want a lump sum amount delivered immediately, then you need to call CBC Funding. With your cash today, you can pay off credit card debt, pay medical bills, fund your education, or improve your home. You don't need to wait. Structured settlements are commonly used to resolve personal injury lawsuits. Annuities, they're designed to spread payments out over 10 or 20 years. For many of you in need of money today, this simply does not work. If you have a structured settlement and you want cash now, call CBC Settlement Funding. Here's the number: 800-303-4607, 800-303-4607, 800-303-4607.
All right, welcome back to the show. So we're talking about the DNC, and we're talking about Black Lives Matter, and we're making the connection and how mainstream media is intertwined in all this. It's kind of like a big spider web, but it's all very carefully planned out. Very carefully planned out. Now, viewers were cringing last night. I know they were cringing watching the Black Lives Matter chants and the T-shirts they were all wearing. They were cringing. That's just not what the majority of this country supports at this point. It's not. Poll after poll shows that. People find it to be divisive, and it is divisive. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them now? The Democrats are choosing a side. They're choosing the anti-law and order side, which once again proves Donald Trump's point that he is the law and order candidate. They keep proving his point for him. Now, I think the DNC and Democrats are making a very dangerous political decision here. I believe that. I think it's a losing decision, but that remains to be seen. But yeah, Donald Trump comes out looking like the real law and order candidate. I don't think too many PBAs are going to be endorsing Hillary, do you? Too many sheriff's officers associations, I don't think too many of those are going to be coming her way. And who would you rather have the endorsement of? A social movement based on fiction? Or men and women who have sworn to protect and serve, willing to trade their life for yours? Who would you rather have on your side? I know my answer. What's your answer to that? While the DNC is pandering to the 15% of the population, Donald Trump is appealing to a much wider base. Hillary will never get the same black vote that Barack Hussein Obama did in 2008 and 2012. It just won't happen for one simple reason. She's not black. That's the reason why. Yep, she'll get 85 to 90% of the turnout. She will. No one's going to contest that. But the turnout won't be nearly what it was in 2008 and 2012. Not even close. Last night showed that the DNC has essentially turned its back on every other demographic. Again, dangerous miscalculation in my opinion. The most radical wings of the BLM movement, like the Black Nation and the new Black Panther Party, they don't want to be a part of this country. They've already said they want to take over 5 states. They want to, and have in some cases, already declared themselves sovereign. Why are you pandering to that? Doesn't make sense. Dangerous miscalculation on the part of the Hillary camp. But we know that they're not known for making good decisions. After last night, the Hillary camp has made their bed, and now they have to sleep in it. But the only reason they're able to sleep soundly in that bed is because of the men and women of law enforcement that are out there making sure they're safe. And those brave officers, they're voting for Donald Trump. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. All right, let's talk about last night's big speaker, President Bill Clinton. He looks good. Looks good for an old guy, right? Got some makeup on there. Had some handlers kind of walk him out. He wasn't sure what direction the stage was in. And he gave you the biography of Hillary. Said she's a mother. Said she's been employed from time to time. And she's old. He kind of said that, right? She's old. So obviously this qualifies her to be president of the United States. I couldn't believe when he started the speech. My jaw dropped to the floor when he said, in 1971, I met a girl. That's how he starts this. After all this stuff that goes on around this guy. Right? Allegations of 2,000 women. In 1971, I met a girl. And then he proceeded to tell us how he stalked that girl. Where she went, he went. He kept asking her to marry him, and she kept saying no. And then he bought a house, and she finally said yes. Was this supposed to make her likable? I mean, if someone tells me no, I am not going to ask them again. I'm not going to chase them. And this went on for he got to year 1974, and I'm thinking, we're 20 minutes into the speech already. Are you going to get to the point? Unreal. He tried to humanize her. I don't think this was Bill Clinton's best speech. He's a good speaker. I will give him that. He's a very, very good speaker. He draws you in. He made that stadium seem very small. I get it. I get what he was trying to do. I don't understand why the Hillary camp let him go out there without reading that speech first. Everything in there was a one-liner you could make fun of. Everything in there. He's talking about how he's staring out the window and Hillary's on her hands and knees. Try getting that image out of your mind. Said she was putting socks away or something in the drawer. Unbelievable. Her speechwriters would have torn that thing up. Would have torn it up. And then, of course, this whole thing ends, and there's the TV screen up top, and I guess this glass thing breaks, and she's standing there on TV, and the crowd goes wild. Goes wild. And on the TV it says live, New York. You're in New York. You're 90 minutes away. You can't go to your own convention? 90 minutes away. And she says, oh, it's all you little girls that stayed up. You could be the next president. Do you want your little girl to emulate Hillary Clinton? Is that what you want for your child? I wouldn't. I wouldn't want that at all. She couldn't even show up for her own convention. Couldn't even show up. Donald Trump was there every single night. He's eating hot dogs in the hallway. He's got the foam finger on. Nah, I'm making that up. But you get what I'm getting at. He was there. He was excited. The whole place was excited. He was there. She shows up on a TV screen. She's 90 minutes away. You could throw a baseball and hit Philadelphia from New York. In fact, I've seen Mo Vaughn hit them that far. Unbelievable. Who do you think you are, John Kasich? Not showing up? Unreal. We got tonight's lineup. Who do we got? We got Joe Biden tonight. That should be boring. You got President Obama, even more boring. Gotta be honest with you, Bernie's still in the show, right? Still in the show. Walkouts, everything. Supporters are going crazy. I've heard Jill Stein's name more than Hillary's in the last 3 days. Jill Stein, heard her name more at the Democratic Convention than I've heard Hillary's. Guys, back in a minute here on the Ryno Report.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit innatlagunabeach.com.
Turn down that radio!
If this sounds familiar, you know it's time to address your hearing loss. But custom hearing aids can cost as much as $5,000 each and are not covered by Medicare. The good news is MD Hearing Aid offers medical-grade, FDA-registered hearing aids for savings of up to 90% over traditional hearing aids. MD Hearing Aid was founded by a Chicago surgeon determined to develop a hearing aid that was technologically advanced, simple to use, and most of all, affordable. Call 1-800-511-8384. You'll speak with a trained MD hearing aid professional who will match you with the best hearing aid for your needs. Over 100,000 satisfied customers have already made the call. Call right now for our exclusive 45-day risk-free trial and get free shipping and a year's worth of free batteries, a $50 value. But you have to call right now. Call MD Hearing Aid at 1-800-511-8384. That's 1-800-511-8384.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for authentic family-style Italian dinners. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate your party or event in one of our festive banquet rooms. Angelo's and Vinci's, Fullerton, California, 550 North Harbor Boulevard. Named the Orange County Hot List Top 5 Italian restaurant for 7 years in a row. And a Top 10 pizza restaurant by Gale, featuring traditional and award-winning pizzas. Offering Sunday champagne brunch from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., just $16.95. Choose from over 20 items, plus create your own personal omelet. Delicious lunches, including our express lunch buffet, $8.95 with over 15 items. And dinner 7 days a week. Getting married? Angelo's and Vinci's won this year's Wedding Wire Couples Choice Award. You can talk to our experienced staff of wedding coordinators. We treat you as guests at your own wedding reception. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. 714-879-4022.
So you've missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty HealthShare has the answer. Liberty HealthShare offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. For those of you who have already enrolled but just aren't satisfied with what you've chosen, there's still hope. Liberty HealthShare allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their health care, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. Members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on individuals for not having health care insurance, thus giving you freedom from insurance. Liberty HealthShare empowers their members by giving them the ability to choose any doctor or hospital across the nation. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American like myself, looking for contract-free health care, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll at any time of the year, call 855-585-4237 or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Do it today.
This is Jeff Carlisi from the Band 38 Special. Let us never forget that police lives matter.
You're listening to the Ryno Report, always right, on the RWB Network.
The Republicans want to repeal it. You know, they actually, with a straight face, say that the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation on Wall Street. They actually say that. You know, I remember when, you know, I've supported my husband through all of his races in Arkansas. And I one of my favorite political ads of all time was a radio ad, rural Arkansas, where the announcer said, wouldn't it be great if somebody running for office said something we could have an immediate reaction as to whether it was true or not? Well, we've trained this dog. And the dog, if it's not true, he's going to bark. And then the dog was barking on the radio. And so, people were like barking at each other for days after that. I'm trying to figure out how we can do that with the Republicans. We need to get that dog and follow them around, and every time they say these things, like, the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation. I think we could cut right through a lot of their their claims.
All right, guys, welcome back to this last segment of today's Wednesday show here on the Ryno Report. I forgot to mention, Comrade Mayor Bill de Blasio from the Big Apple. He'll be speaking at today's convention, too. He got like a 4:30 slot, 4:30 p.m. No one's going to watch that. You might as well be speaking on the moon. No one's going to be watching that. And just so happens it's the same day that even the most liberal paper in New York, the New York Daily News, has a front page headline about how corrupt he is. He's not going to finish this term. He definitely won't get reelected. If he even finishes this term, every paper has his face in the front today about this corruption in City Hall. It's like Tammany Hall all over again. All right, we got a couple of polls here. Let's see. We got the LA Times USC poll. This is a daily tracking poll. Trump at his biggest margin yet, 47-40. The largest margin Hillary has had in this poll was 3 points. Trump's got a 7-point lead now, and it keeps getting larger every single day. Just 7 days ago, Hillary was up by 1 point. So she's net -8 over the last week in this LA Times USC tracking poll, which is generally very, very leftward leaning. You also have KSDK TV and a Survey USA poll out of Missouri. Now remember, Missouri is a state that Democrats believe could be in play, could be a swing state. Right now, Trump at 47, Hillary at 37, so a 10-point advantage for the Donalds. I don't think Missouri's as swing as they think it is. Maybe, but I don't really think so. Let's see, I also have a Fort Hays State University poll out of Kansas. Trump at 44, Hillary at 27. He's plus 17 there. Kansas is red all the way. It's the reddest state in the union. So, but it's a poll that came out for a state, and we got to talk about it. And then you have this CNN ORC poll that shows Trump by 3. I think we talked about this poll the other day, but this poll also has an apology in it. Like, no poll is really good. Yeah, they apologize for Trump being ahead in this poll. Go figure. CNN apologized. The Clinton News Network. What else do we got? Oh, this is crazy. They're going to be releasing John Hinckley Jr. from the Puzzle Factory. Yeah, probably next week. The judge said he's no longer a threat to himself or anybody else for that matter. Well, he can't be a threat to Ronald Reagan anymore. He's passed away, of course. Yeah, he's getting out. There are some terms of his release, though, that you guys might not be aware of. Number one, he can't use the internet. No internet for John Hinckley Jr., no social media, no Snapchat, Instagram, all that stuff. All out of reach there. He can't do it. And then he cannot be in the same city as a president. So that's how they're going to protect the president from John Hinckley Jr. Can't be in the same city. And he also can't be in the same city as Jodie Foster. Remember, that's why he did this. That's why he wanted to shoot Ronald Reagan, was because he wanted to impress Jodie Foster. That's how this all started. So they can't be in the same city either, but you'd think you'd have to tell him where she is for him to avoid being there, right? Right? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Of course, this was the incident where James Brady was shot in the head, leading to the Brady Bill and all that stuff. Now, they tried to release Hinckley on a one night. He got a reprieve for one night. It was, I don't know when it was, I guess a while back. And they said he could go to the movies. He wanted to go to a movie, so they said, okay, you can go to a movie. So they followed him to see, could he behave himself if he was released for one night? Couldn't do it. Didn't even go to the movies. He went to a bookstore, went to get a cup of coffee. He couldn't even do it. One night. He couldn't follow orders for one night. But they're releasing him, so I guess maybe we should all get a list of where he is. I didn't think you could take a shot at a president and get released from prison. Welcome to Obama's America, everybody. Welcome to Obama's America. Hey guys, that's it for today. Hope you had a good time. I did. A big thank you to all those serving our country at home and abroad, and a huge thank you to those in the law enforcement community. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all your hard work. We all depend on you. God bless all of you. God bless all of your families. And until tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, I'm the Ryno, and I'm out.